Akai MPC Live II. Today I got the Jura synth plugin. We're going to use the Air Delay Pro, and we're going to make a beat completely from scratch, just using a couple plugins and my trusty kits. What's going on, guys? It's your brother O.T.G. O.T.G's for Overtime Grind. Hardly seen, but I'm always around. And today we got the Akai MPC Live II and the new Jura synth of 1982. And what I'm going to do in true O.T.G fashion is we just going to hop in and make a beat. There's enough influencers out there going to show you the ins and outs. It's enough people going to talk negative, talk positive, but we're about the music over here. So over here, we're going to get straight to it, and we're going to start making a beat. So make sure you like, share, subscribe, comment. Make sure you hit the notification bell. Make sure you check out the master classes. Make sure you check out the free drum kits. Follow me on all social media at 365OTG. I got expansions. I got the whole 9 yards. So while you out here going through the motions, losing faith in your MPC, come holler at your boy, and we're gonna keep this thing going, man. Whatever the tools are, we're gonna use them to get the job done. You get it? So I know now that I have to tell you guys the way that it's routed. So right now I have my Akai MPC Live II routed into my mixer that you see right there. I have the mixer going out to my SP404 MK2, and I have my SP404 MK2 running into my outboard effects, my outboard system. So with that, we have the Roland J6 that you see controlling the MIDI chords, and I have the nano keys there to play single notes in case I need it. So that's the sound routing of everything right now, you know, and we're going to keep this thing going. So far, I like, you know, I'm a big MPC plugins guy. I like having everything standalone. We standalone right now. We're not using the computer, you know, so everything that you hear is coming straight out of the box and being processed through the mixer and through the SP and through another outboard gear. So, you know, I love being standalone. I think that having the plug-in standalone is a great deal, you know what I mean? And having some things like the J6 and other things to help you get started fast is great. I like the fact that they keep building up and making this thing stronger standalone, you know. Here's a tip: when you're playing chords and you ever have a problem, say you have a problem and you can hear that when it's transitioning from one chord to the next, that you're not hearing all the notes, what you need to do is go in, select them all, and then edit the end point. And from editing the ends, you could go in and fix that problem. It could be a little tedious, you know. I wish there was a way to lock the screen where your notes are, just a little menu you could tap to lock the screen. But that's the way that you fix that, you know. So you can see the interface of the Jura synth. You know, it's got a bunch of cool parameters and things that I think, you know, a lot of people say that you cannot, you know, it's not cool to make hip hop utilizing synthesizers, analog synths, and things of that nature. But I've been making music over 15 years, and when I'm not sampling, I'm making it from scratch. And we definitely use a lot of analog synths and things of that nature to get it popping. You know, you just gotta scope the sound the way that you want it and get it to fit in the mix. So like right now, I'm playing around with this patch. I put the 4-band EQ on it. You know, you drop down some of the mids, the low mids, drop down some of the lows, and let the high mids kind of sparkle through. so we could get where we gotta get. I'm not really feeling that, but I'm gonna let it go. You know, I may change it later, I might not, it depends. But, you know, I seen today that they also released the MPC 1 Plus. I think that that's a great MPC for people who are just starting out. I personally believe the MPC 1 is the best MPC. You can see I come from the old MPC, so right now I'm in the program edit screen. I had to put it on the sounds menu so that way I could create. I can have a shortcut to get to it on the Live II. I enjoy having the Live II to move around with. You know, I definitely make more beats and sound design with the Live II, but the MPC 1 is my brain of my studio. When we start to really creating, especially in my DAW setup, it gives me the ability to record in. You know, it is super stable, running things out. So I think for whoever is buying the MPC 1, you know, if you get the 1 Plus, that's cool. It's great for you. Wi-Fi is a great addition. You know, all of those. I have 2 MPC 1s, and I don't think I'll upgrade. I'm happy where I'm at, and I don't see limitations. You know, you see I got some rolling gear on the table. When we talk about workflow, I don't see limitations in workflow because, you know, in a lot of my videos, I record the audio into the MPC. I record audio from the MPC into the SP and chop it there. You know, I have a workflow of how I like to get my sounds, and I like to have my stuff sound. So for me personally, you know, ain't no mountain too high for me to figure it out, how to get the sound routed and get the sound that I want. I feel like that is on the producer. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and comment. I'm gonna let this ride for a little bit. I'm gonna come back and tap in a second and let you guys just see the work. You know, right now we in program edit. We building this up. And if you guys were wondering, yes, that is the Smackers drum kit. That is the Smackers drum kit. That's the drum kit that I use in a lot of my videos. It's available down in the description. For everybody who buys the Smackers drum kit, I'm going to release a O.T.G line of drum kits. So in probably about a week, I'm going to add the Midwest kit, the club kit, and the regular kit. Those are the kits that I load up. Whenever I want to make a beat or get started making a beat, I load up about 4 or 5 drum kits. And from there, from program edit, we load the kits into what we need them to be. So check out that Smackers kit. The price will go up next week as I add more kits. So the people who are locked in at this price will have access to the new kits because all kits come with lifetime updates. So that first sound was cool, but there was something that it was just a little off or something to me. So we're gonna go to another preset and work with the presets and see what we can find to get a better sound. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, comment. Make sure you hit that notification bell. Make sure you check out the master classes and all kinds of different things. Make sure you stay to the end where I give my full thoughts on the MPC Plus One, on the Jura plugin, and some other stuff that seems to be going on in the community. Right now, I really like the way the sounds. It sounds really full, sounds nice. Like I said, I have it running out of my MPC into a mixer. In the mixer, you can see the light flashing in the top left corner. Yeah, so I do have some settings to kind of bring the sound out of the synth a little bit more, and just what you're hearing. You know, it's not set all the way in the mid, so I do have some EQ settings and in the middle when I say the mid. I do have some EQ settings already turned on for how I like my MPC to sound, and the way I like it to feel. So again, you can see, remember that tip I told you about doing your chords. You might have to go through and edit your chords. I know a lot of people will just keep playing them over and over again, you know, but I'll go ahead and just use the edit, start and stop, and get them fixed that way. So we're going to finish this last little step of chords, you know, get them right on the note. And we're going to use this sound instead of the sound that we started with. This is going to be a whole beat video. I'm going to work through, I'm going to do some mixing and all kinds of different stuff. So we're just going to keep working it out. So now I'm thinking I might add another Jura plugin in. Let's go ahead. Hit the plus button, add in a second. You know, always hit undo if you mess up or do something like that. I just did something where I had messed up. We're gonna undo, go to the next track. Now let's go ahead and add it in. See what other synth sound that we could add to try to bring this out and stack. Again, we're just trying to make something. This is off the fly, so this is all from scratch. This is my first time utilizing this plugin, you know, so we just stumbling through it to see what we could build and is it creatable. like this sound, so what I'm going to do, I think after I get this recorded, I'm going to add the other new plugin effect, the Air Pro delay, and then we'll turn it down, put it in the background, and kind of let the delay warp around and do its job. So let's go add that. We're going to hit the eyeball, go to the first effect, scroll down, boom. Now we're going to go to Air Delay Pro. We're going to hit the pencil. Now let's go through the presets. Once we find one that we like, all we're going to do is just mess with the mix. You know, for the sake of this video, I'm already going to go a little bit more in depth than I do on most other videos. So on this one specifically, I'm just going to not spend a lot of time on the effects. I'm easing you guys into it, so make sure that you like, share, subscribe, comment. Make sure you get the masterclass that covers all the basic principles. So I like where that is right now. Make sure you cop the masterclass, especially all you MPC 1 guys. You know, it's the 1 and the Live 2. Covers all the basic principles of understanding your MPC standalone. And it'll help you get to be able to maneuver how I'm maneuvering through it. You know, I don't ever really have any stumbling or any errors because I technically know my machine. And I think a lot of people could do better. I've seen some pretty big influencers who still don't know what exactly the machine does in and out. So, you know, you could get a masterclass for $7. You could get the mid-level with some personal expansions for $14. And you can get the highest level that comes with all of the expansions I have on my Gumroad. All 3 come with lifetime updates. I have personal expansions you can get with over 15 gigs of sounds. Best sounds that you can get. These are from my personal sound bank. So these aren't sounds that I made. These are sounds that I've gotten and I've used and I've put together in kits for my own specific production. So if you want to have the same shit that I have, you can go check out my Gumroad and you can get some of that from there. Right now we just want to stack these claps up, stack the snare up, you know, just really build up the power of our track and get a good sound with it. Okay, so right here what I did is I like to do all of my drums on different tracks. I like to do everything on different tracks first. I don't like to explode last. I like to be able to see how many tracks that I have and know what's going on. So I want to work on the sub bass some, run it through the drum program, and I want to turn it off and turn it on. So what we did is I had the open hi-hat and the 808 on the same track. So what we got to do now is go to an empty track and paste his shift. You know, we got to get our start marker to the beginning. So now we want to hit shift and paste. And now when we press play, you should hear it. But one of the mistakes that I made, which is you'll see it threw me for a loop, is that I have it on solo, but I don't hear anything. Because I copied those notes when it was on solo, it's in the memory. It doesn't recognize that those notes are there. I also copied them in the wrong place. So I copied them on pad 10, and we need them to be on pad 7. So what I got to do is erase them. Just hit pad 7, which you see me doing now, to make sure. Then I got to hit shift and paste. But notice it won't paste when it's playing, because it's going to place where the marker is. So if I hit stop, I hit shift and paste. Now it pasted them where the marker is. So now we hit undo. We hit stop, shift and stop. It'll move our play start back. Now we hit shift and paste. And if I go turn off the solo and turn it back on, you'll be able to hear them. So that's how you could copy and move stuff to a different track. You can explode, but exploding has a lot of long names and a bunch of other stuff. It's just, I utilize that if I'm on the move. If I'm sitting here and I'm really getting busy, I'm not doing that. So now we got our 808. My 808's kind of punchy. And, you know, when it's all said and done, I will probably go through a bunch of different 808s and try one that's got a different feel. But for this video, we just gonna go with it. We're gonna do some housekeeping and name all our tracks, because we're starting to get close to 10 tracks, and I'm starting to think about mixing. One of the things that I like to tell guys is when you're making beats, make sure that at some point you start to think either A, I'm going to keep this beat, or B, I'm not. You get what I'm saying? At some point you need to start to think in a way where A, I'm going to keep it. How am I going to get this working together? B, I'm not going to keep it. So I'm not, how am I going to arrange it? So once you start to get to that thought process, arranging gets a lot easier. I think a lot of you guys have issues because you don't think about arranging till the end. And that's something that you should be thinking about at some point after you spent enough time working on a beat. So now we're going to add some strings, get our strings part together. One of the things I want to remind you is that when you have the plugins, you know, you can always use your insert. You can always use your insert to throw in effects. But, you know, you also, when you're using the plugin itself, it has effects built into it. That's the cool thing about the MPC plugin. So therefore you can really sculpt your sound from within the plugin and then add an effect on top of that to make it go sound a little bit doper. So right now I'm going to go down and add some mix to the reverb to change how those strings feel. so you could have seen now that I went and reached on the mixer and I edited the EQ on the mixer so you can hear how it sounds. And then we're going to start turning down the overall volume and get ready to start mixing. That's about to come, mixing and arranging. So we're going to go through, mute every track. I'm going to add some stuff in. We're going to add the EQ. We're going to tap in, get it right where we want it. You know what I mean? Get a good feel on it. And now we're going to go to mute. And from our mute screen, this is where we're going to really start to dial in our mix. I'm not going to spend a lot of time because this is where the videos get long, where you start really trying to dial in your mix and get everything right. But I want you to notice I'm in program edit and we editing our volume from the root before we touch the master fader. So I'm going through, turning down all of my drum kit sounds and different stuff that I could operate on there. Now we're going to bring our kick in. And so what I'm going to do, go back to program edit. And now I'm going to go to my drum effects. And I'm going to add some bass to my drum effects to make sure that you feel that kick. And then I'm going to go over to the bit crush. You need to make sure you're on the right pad. So, you know, right now everything that I'm doing is on the wrong pad. See, so I had to just go and click it. Now we on the right pad. You can audibly hear it. When you have the right pad selected, you'll be able to see it with a green light. We're going to add the soft clipper, turn it up, and then we're going to trim our gain. So we're going to get that right where we want it. I kind of want the kick to be a little deeper, so I might mess with the pitch from the program edit screen. The sample screen too. Alright, now we got that together. You can see I'm still lost, still trying to get used to the limited amount of buttons on the Live II. It just takes some getting used to. Finish doing some of this mixing and getting the audio together. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, comment. Make sure you stick to the end. We're going to really break down some stuff. All right, and so with this, I want to add some reverb on the hi-hats. We're going to add it at a pad level. So the reverb is on the specific pad for the hi-hats. I could have put it on a synth channel, but I want the reverb to operate independently in that for that one specific sound. For another sound, I might want it to be a shorter reverb or a shorter delay. So we're going to go from the spring reverb to air reverb and we're going to mess with the time and then pull down the mix and try to get that going from there. So now we're going to do some work on the 808. You know, I'm not going to put all the secrets in the video, but there's some stuff that I would do to come back to actually get this even better than how it's going to end up. You know, right now I might have to add a mother ducker, but we're going to process it in a different kind of way. You know, we're just going to use it for the compressor that's on it and try to clean up the bass and use our drum effects to separate them and make them push through the mix. May or may not be successful, but we're going to try. We're going to try before we start overly compressing stuff and you get this weird push-pull feel. To say to you guys, there is no right or wrong way. There is right and wrong ways, but when you're creating for yourself and you are the producer of your music and creating your sound, then there is no right or wrong way. I have a set EQ setting that I like for my mother ducker, that I like for certain stuff, but instead what we're going to do is operate it in a way that makes it sound good for us. So we're going to just mess around, try it, see if we like it, turn some knobs, get into it, and see how it goes. And that's something that you guys need to do. Don't be scared of your machine. You know what I mean? Like, I hear all the conversations about sound and workflow, but you know, when you start really talking about workflow, what it is just trying to be locked into the quickest way to get a song done. Like for me, I can make a lot of beats and get a lot of music done because I've been making beats for over 20 years. I've been in studios for over 15 years. I've been songwriting for 17 years. I work in music every single day. Like, this is how I get paid. This is how I take care of my family. And this is how I've been getting paid. You know, I've sold cars on the side, but music has been one of my main incomes, and if not the only income, for the last 10 to 13 years. So, you know, when you start to get into that aspect, your confidence got to be in what you create. Like, I don't really care if people like my videos or like my music or don't like my music on YouTube. You know, at the end of the day, what I create outside and how I move the music outside and how I deliver what I need to deliver to make sure that we eating on a regular basis is up to me. And some of that comes from trying things that we don't normally try. Trying different settings, trying different sounds, seeing how it goes, and seeing what it sounds like. The greatness of the MPC allows you to utilize your ears, and it gives you some visuals. I prefer standalone because we experience and live and intake music audibly, not visually, you know. And my company, Overtime Grind, we specialize in audio, music and audio. That's our specialty. And so we use our ears to try to get everything together. So, you know, I don't care what the meter says. If the meter is redlining but it sounds good, then we'll get it, we'll fix that and figure out how to get the sound hotter, or that hot, or to mix that hot going out. Maybe we'll turn down the overall volume. Maybe we'll put a limiter on the master fader. You know, there's a lot of maybes and what ifs as you start to go into this process. But if you are trying to lock into one specific formula, you're going to struggle when you come across things that don't work with the formula. So, you know, that's one major tip. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, comment. Make sure you hit the notification bell. Make sure you check out the master classes, free drum kits. Follow me at 365 O.T.G. And now we about to get into maybe a little bit more mixing. I kind of want to try to mess with the arrangement a little bit. See if I can find an arrangement I like. Like this one pattern is getting too full. So we need to open it up some and give some access for lyrics and words. I'm going to run through and make some last minute adjustments to the sound, you know, and then we're going to have our first mix done. You know, this will be one of many, but I'm going to go through, tap in a little bit more, make sure we got the volumes down, got snares and hi-hats in the right place so they're not making too much noise. And then we're going to finish this up. guys, so now that we're getting into this and we're doing the arrangement, how do I feel about the Jura plugin? I feel like the Jura plugin is super dope. I feel like there might be other options of this plugin and other presets, and that's cool. But you know, if you can afford it and you're serious about music making, I definitely believe that you should try to have this plugin. I do believe that the more sounds that you have give you more ability to do things. So all of these plugins have a dope sound. The MPC has a sound, and it's really up to you to get the sound out of your MPC or mold these plugins to a sound that you like. Like I've said multiple times, I will come back and I will redo this. Like right now, this is my second arrangement. After this video, I'll probably try 10 different arrangements. I will probably try some different 808s. I probably will run some filters and do some things. So I think all of these plugins sound great. I think that it's an investment that if you are willing to actually learn them and go forward in furthering your production and getting a better sound out of your MPC, then the plugins are great for you. If you're looking for a bunch of presets so you can do whatever, I don't know what it is that you do, but if you're looking for a bunch of presets to try to get it popping super quickly, there's a bunch of presets. But my advice is get in there, turn some knobs, make the sounds yours, and really try to do it and invest in yourself. MPC 1 Plus is cool, but we good with where we at. You know, MPCs aren't made for you to buy every model unless you just want to be that kind of guy. It's made for you to buy the model that fits what you're trying to do. I'm mobile sometimes, so the live works, and most of the time I'm stationary when I'm creating in this form or fashion. So, you know, to the left, I have my MPC 1 hooked up. So, you know, it's all about what you're trying to do. Hopefully you got some tips and you learned something. This has been a demo of the new plugin. I really like this beat. We're going to utilize it later on. You'll hear it in a mixtape that I'll drop probably in June of more beats. So make sure you like, share, subscribe, comment. It's been a long video. I appreciate you guys. It's your brother O.T.G.